Hello, almost Shabbat Shalom. Also before Hannukah. And here are these are the mountains of Chatsworth. And actually, I've learned that these mountains are where all the old Western movies were filmed. The John Wayne movies, and really, it's just gorgeous here. Yeah, it's just beautiful, beautiful, and what a sunset. And yeah, so hello everyone. Let me sit this up here. Found a tree here that decided, that agreed to be a supporting act. You know, we have those in life. You know, those that are supporting our cause, those that are supporting our vision, and it's important who do we want to sit at our table, right? So, all right. Let's see who's here. A table, right? So, no, that's not it. That's it. Okay. So you can see the sun here. I'll try to be in between the leaves of the tree, so you see a clear. Or maybe I have to put the glasses. Oh man. All right. Well, we'll do this. Well, hello everyone. We are Parashat Vayeshev, Friday before Hannukah, the festivities of light, and it's not just festivities of light. It's actually a stand of light. So Parashat Vayeshev, there are a few things here. There is also a lesson for how are we with our children, how are we with the education, and also on the eve of Chanukah, how everything ties into what's going on in the world, what's going on in society, what's going on in enforcing things that are hindering on our vision, that are hindering on our right to think, on our right to express. So Parashat Vayeshev is actually is describing how it's talking mostly about Joseph. You know, Jacob is already comfortable in where he is and his new in the new place that he is, and as Joseph, as he's being tested, he's being tested with his relationship to Potiphar and the wife that was tempting him. But before that, Jacob is preparing him because Joseph was his most favorite kid. So Jacob prepared him this robe. And at that time, most of the robes, or most people, would have a single color robe. But Jacob prepared for Joseph a special kind of special robe with special stripes, and that created jealousy. That created jealousy with his brothers. And this is the really a solid point when there are families with many kids. You know, how many times some of you experienced when parents are comparing you to your brothers or to your sisters and saying to you, well, why can't you be like your brother? Or why can't you be like your sister? Or why can't you, all these kind of things. Or favoring a certain child, and then there is sometimes a backlash from the other brothers, from the other sisters or brothers. And that is a common thing, at least where I came from. But this is something that is creating a jealousy, creating this energy, creating this negativity, this tension between brothers, because one is favorable and the others supposedly are not. Well, this is something that we can apply every day to what is going on. Now, in the last 2 weeks, in the last 3 weeks with the eclipse, there are a lot of shifts, a lot of energies moving. Many of you felt it. I've spoke to some people that everybody experienced in one form or the other, a shift, a movement, and sometimes positive, but mostly transformative. This is transformative times where energies are moving so quickly that a shift and a change happens rapidly. And it's not a gradual expansion or a gradual recognition, but it's actually something that is immediate and creates this effect that is not necessarily welcomed all the time, because we're in the middle of something, we're preparing something, oh, I want to do this, or I'm prepared to do, I have these plans, and suddenly there is this shift. And this is really what happened in the last 2-3 weeks, and it's still happening. It's kind of like almost the tail end of this peak that we've experienced. So what's happening? I'm talking about, and everybody's talking about, and everybody is in that process. Everybody that I can tell and I know that is in the process of shifting and releasing what doesn't serve. But did you think about what happens when we are actually releasing? We are pushing through to release and to remove that which doesn't serve us. But let's think about that particular pattern or that particular fear or thought that now doesn't serve us. It was here with us for a long time. It was here with us for a period of time. At times protected us when we were not ready to expand, when we were not ready to go forward. And at time it maybe hindered us from expressing ourselves more fully, more authentically. So it's like these patterns or these feelings or these fears were part of our construct for a long time. So what happens when we remove that, or when we want to remove that? Something must be replenished. Something has to be in that void, because never, good or not good, it created a significant impact, an imprint in our experience, significant imprint about in our presence. So when we remove that, there is a void. And when there is a void and we're not paying attention, anything can fill that. The easier material that can be filled in is actually not as positive. So the positivity is something that we always have to be alerted to create, to be in this high vibration, to be in this vibration that attracts the positivity and the positive experiences. Think about that. Think about like a bowl of cotton, or just take a piece of cotton, and I don't know, I'll probably find here a thorn plants or plants full of thorns, and I'll put it on that plant. Now, if I want to remove that, what happens? Much of that cotton is still stuck in that plant. It's really hard to remove all the cotton from that pokey plant, from that thorn. Right? That is exactly how patterns and fears that have been with us throughout our lives, and it depends when you started your conscious spiritual journey. It could be when you're 20, which is great. The younger, the better. When you are older, so you have many years of patterns and experiences and relationships that were torn, and relationships that went south, if you will, because of these patterns. And what happens after we go through this process, of recognizing where we are, we're kind of like, we try not to judge ourselves, but we say, that's where I was. I didn't see, I didn't understand, I couldn't see myself, and I couldn't see you, I couldn't see the other. Nevertheless, we recognize that time, these patterns were not helpful for us. So comes now, we are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. We recognize these patterns, and we want to remove them. We want to say, you know what? You don't serve me anymore. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support and your help and whatever that was, but I don't need you anymore, right? So we want to remove that, but something is missing. I spoke to to a client who she told me she went to a retreat, 3 days retreat. She started her spiritual journey, and she went to a 3 days retreat. It was wonderful. And then she came home, and then she was down for a week. You know, so what happened is that there was nothing to continue. There was no continuation. There was no follow up. There was no a continuation in the same new place. There was nobody to follow up. So that's a whole different thing when you're going to work with somebody, whether it is with sound, with plants, whatever that is. Make sure that there is a continuation. Make sure that there is a follow-up, an integration period, because the journey is always after the journey. And if there is not a resource to help you continue to create a new pattern out of positive experience, out of positive actions, then it's easy to fall back to this old place, because there is nothing to keep and sustain it. So this is and this kind of things like jealousy. This is what happened with Joseph and his brothers. There was jealousy that came up, and so those energies and those patterns are very easy to fall into if there is no a supportive environment. And one really is one who really needs to be strong in their patterns, in their positive patterns, in their positive creation, to sustain negativity, to sustain something that comes to shake or to rock that stability. Now we are before Hannukah. Sunday in a couple of days is Hannukah, and Hannukah is the festivities of light. Now it's called festivities of light because, well, I'll backtrack a little bit. So the story, if you are the first time listening, the story as it's being told is that there was a candle, not a candle, but actually a little jar of oil that was not ruined by the. There was not ruined by the Greek or the Romans. It wasn't ruined it wasn't ruined during that time, and it stayed, and it lasted for 8 days, because usually those little canisters that were sealed lasted only 1 day. The difference is in this holiday, unlike any other enemies of the Jewish people, unlike Hitler or Haman during Purim, who wanted really to annihilate the power, the culture, not the culture, but the power, the understandings, the ways of expressing themselves. The Greek wanted to ruin and to annihilate the essence, the faith. So there is a difference. It wasn't a military war; it was a culture war, and this is exactly where we are now with all this Quranic era. This is a culture war. There is more. There is more creation of isolation. There was creation of fear, and in Hannukah, the single flame that lasted for 8 days. That's the flame that evaporated darkness. What happens when we're walking into a dark room and we light a candle? It's not that the darkness just moves to the side and say, "Oh, light, please go ahead." No, the darkness just evaporates. It just ceases to exist, because the light is there. And we are the light, each one of us. Kol echad hu ner echad. Everyone is a single light, everyone is a single flame, and together we are a bonfire. And this is the time to recognize each of our individuality and each of our conscious choices, each of our choice and right to think critically. And the togetherness is what creates this huge flame, not a separation, the togetherness and the ways. It is similar to what the Greek did, is to eliminate the faith, to eliminate the understanding that together we have the power, that believing in the Creator and understanding that everything is here as it was ordained, and together we are here to bring the light. And the effort of those 0.03% that are controlling and that are putting this fear and creating isolation, that is bringing more darkness. That is creating this fear, this doubt in each one of us. And when we fall into that place of doubt, what ends up happening? We end up focusing only on surviving. We end up focusing only on how do I get from here to there? Oh, now there is this law. Oh, now I have to focus on this law because I have to do this and I have to bring this permit and I have to go get this test and this. And we're all focusing on what do we need to do to follow suit with the new laws that were put upon us. Not for the health of the people. Not for the health of the people. The government is never for the good of the people. Never for the health of the people. So what did they do? They create this system that keeps some people in this rat race. Keeps people in this rat race. And we should not and cannot be in this rat race. Chanukah is about few against many. Hannukah is about the faith, the truth that eventually toppled the many. There was a film, I keep giving this example every so often. There was a film called Ants. It was an animated film. It talks about a bunch of 10 grasshoppers who invaded and controlled a colony of ants, of thousands of ants. How did they do that? With fear. Not giving them the opportunity to think. Not giving them the opportunity to think. Why? Because they kept them in survival, in doing, do. Don't stop and think, because once you stop thinking, you get ideas. And they didn't want any ideas, because ideas would render them invalid. Ideas will bring all the ants together. And this is where we are. Ideas brings us together. The ideas, the creation, the imagination. The imagination, that what sparks. That is the spark. Imagination. We are here to imagine, because with imagination we can create our world, we can create our reality, we can create the kind of relationships that we want, we create the kind of environment that we want, we create the kind of love that we always dream of. Without imagination, we're just duch and duch, go straight. So two things, or more than two things, or all the time two things, all the time many things. But this week, Vayeshev, when Yaakov Vayeshev, and he sat down and he settled. This is about Jacob settling. So he settled. It's about how are we with our children. And Chanukah, and it's not coincidence that it's near Chanukah, because Chanukah also comes from the word chinuch, lechanech, to educate. To educate. So it is educating. And why educating? Because this is exactly what I'm talking about. Educating what kind of positivity, what kind of energies I want to release, and what do I bring right away inside, not to wait. Right away. We released an entity, right away. What am I bringing in? How do I cultivate? How do I cultivate this high vibration? What tools do I have to cultivate high vibration? So those of you who know me, I'm a sound therapist as well, and I work through sound and through frequencies to raise our vibration, to release toxins, and right away to instill these frequencies that are God's given gift. We are all frequencies. And those frequencies that cultivate this positivity, that cultivate this rejuvenation. And this place allows for education. And this place allows for growth. So when we are in this place, and especially these weeks after the lunar eclipse, as I said in the beginning, we are releasing. What do we bring in? Who do I want to sit at my table? What kind of energies? Now, there are many people that different kind of energies. But if somebody is not positive for you, is not here to support you, and to support you in your growth. Hopefully, it's also together. You do it together, back and forth, not just a one way. But if somebody is not there, and there is a negative energy, this is maybe not for you. So if you remove a negative energy, what do you replenish it with? It's just like when with an addiction. There is an addiction. What do I replenish this addiction pattern, this addiction behavior with? Am I replacing it with another addiction? Or am I replacing it with somebody that can, something that actually can help me and actually can help me grow? So, Chanukah, energies, what do we replenish? Few against many. These times, please be educated and think critically. Allow yourself, because you have that capacity and you have that gift to think critically. So with that, happy Shabbat, wonderful, wonderful weekend. And let's see if I forgot anything. No, I think we covered everything. What energies do I replenish with the negative energies or with the negative patterns that I'm letting go? And Chanukah, you're the single candle, single light that evaporates darkness. Banu choshech legaresh. The song of Hannukah in Judaism says, Banu choshech legaresh. We came here to shoo away the darkness. To shoo away the darkness. Like shoo shoo. Shoo away. Let the darkness bye-bye. And the darkness are all these spots, all these places that we are not happy with, that don't support us, that don't replenish us. But it's important to remember what to replenish it with immediately, not to wait. This goes out, this good comes in. Otherwise, it'll be easily coming back. So, Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful Shabbat, a wonderful Chanukah. I'll be Sunday here to light the menorah and do some blessings. And that's it. Have fun. Bye.